I'm Manny. Meow. That's who I am. I'm a cat.
I'm gonna edit it so that's all out of context. It's all out of context now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to JPMP. I'm Justin.
I hope you guys know Justin's way more cynical in person than he is on screen.
I am, but I'm also more open.
What?
I'm also more open.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Today we're listening to Killswitch Engage, The End of Heartache. I know they're hits, like My Curse, Arms of Sorrow.
This is my curse.
I guess that's kind of it. I know this is one of the bigger songs, but I've never heard of it. Do you know those songs? Do you know this song at all?
No, not
Okay.
really. No, which one is it?
The End of Heartache.
Better be good.
I hope so. I was first introduced to them through Guitar Hero. Were you?
You actually play Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
That's
Third
good.
one.
MTV. No, I'm sorry, not MTV.
MTV.
Fuse.
What was that?
Oh, why does MTV have a bad connotation? Hang on. MTV.
No, I said
No,
because
no,
they
no,
used to
no,
do
no,
music.
no. Rewind this. You went.
Because it started positive and then it kind of.
Of course. But think about in the context of which we're talking. We're talking about an older band.
All right.
And where did I first start to? So that had to been at least 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm. We're not making points. We're just saying sentences. What was the point?
So if I say MTV, that shouldn't have a bad
And I said-
connotation
and I
because
said-
MTV was okay. So then I corrected myself and I said, was.
Oh, so I'm allowed to.
No, you went.
No.
All right, hang on. So we know My Curse.
Yes. I haven't heard this song. I know it's a big one.
Is this with the new singer or old singer?
This is old singer because this came out I think 2004. So let's get into it. Of course, join us on Twitter. Join us in the comments down below for discussion. Continue to recommend us songs and let us know what you think of this song. And let's get into it. This is Killswitch Engage with The End of Heartache.
It's way louder in here. Turn it up more.
Whoa. Killswitch. Disengage. Whoa. One thing I like about Killswitch Engage that I've heard from the music that I'm familiar with is that they have very strong riffs. And they have a lot...
Riffs in what sense, though?
In the sense of the space that the riffs leave. So here, they have very good spacing. So here...
So like the drop out. So the drop out points.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have that. My Curse, think about the main part. It's spacing in a different way. Because it's not like where it's just like... It's and then they go into like their little break. They have very good spacing with their riffs and the guitar work in relation with like the drums and the bass. I think that's one of their strengths. And when he uses the clean vocals, they're used to soar in that space.
Yeah.
And in any sort of music, really, when there's dropouts or instruments that are taken out to leave space, I'm going to use that word a few more times, by the way. There's usually something else that they bring in to compensate for that. Mm-hmm. So here, it's the vocals. When it's the drop, he's... And then his vocals shine through and soar.
No, I understand what you're saying. I think...
And I like that.
I think maybe... if I could use an analogy.
Please.
It's kind of like when you're in a kitchen, right? Let's just say you're the chef. The chef in this particular situation is the... the music, the band itself, right? Perhaps the instruments. Let's use it at that, right?
Yeah.
So then what's happening is, I think what you're saying is you like the fact that there's dropout points and there's space in between guitar and how the drums ring out in between those things and that sort of thing, right?
Yes,
Nothing feels too clumped together.
Correct.
I think that just comes from like the instruments are just doing their job. For example, it's like if you were to have like your stove on and your oven on and your stove and your water running, what's the point in that? Like they're all just clashing. That's all for you to have to like attend to.
Correct.
But when you're cooking one thing, you start with your stove and then once you sear it up a little bit, right? You throw in a little bit of water, right?
Yes.
Before you like throw it in the oven.
It's in a certain order.
I mean? Yeah, everything's in a certain order. Correct. So like I just think like music comes down to what instruments are going on in relation to one another.
Correct.
And do they drown each other out? Because I think that's why like some people don't like EDM type of music because it just sounds like everything's going on at once.
Right.
Certain ones. There's some good ones.
Yeah, I understand what you mean though. Yeah.
We haven't listened to any EDM on here.
Right. Yeah. No, we haven't. But I understand what you mean and I agree with that. And it's the reason why I would enjoy this over, let's just say, a typical thrash metal song where the pace is just...
Yeah, like nothing's being overseasoned. Right.
And I understand that music and I understand that its place and I get it. I just prefer spacing, letting certain instruments or elements shine through a little more.
You want melody.
It makes it more interesting to listen to as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? So this is interesting to listen to as a whole because of those spaces. Because the harsh vocals are used sparingly, like a seasoning. They don't overpower the song, even though that type of music has its place. But it's just a seasoning here, and the clean vocals really soar and shine through, and that makes sense with his voice.
Yeah.
Because his voice is very strong, and it's theatrical in a sense. Not like a...
When he goes like...
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's
got that...
ringing
I think it
out.
reminds us of like opera house.
Yeah. Because it's not theatrical so much like symphonic metal and that kind of thing. Because the music is pretty grounded. He goes out, but it's not like he's going out like in some of like the symphonic metal we've listened to, like Epica and Symphony X and stuff like that.
It's not that Epica sounds bad. It's just they're just not that great.
They're amazing.
They're okay.
They're good.
They're okay.
You listen to one song. You listen to one song.
They're a little out there though.
You listen, and you don't like most music that's out there.
Well, I mean, if you went to a restaurant, right? If you went to a restaurant and you didn't like the food, are you gonna go back?
No.
There you go. Listen to Epica. Didn't like the restaurant.
Nah, get out of here.
I got you, bro.
Get out of here.
I
didn't get got.
You just got.
No. There's more hamburger places than McDonald's and Burger King or Arby's and Cheddar's.
I understand that.
Right? So you got to try other people's burgers.
I did.
You listen to one symphonic metal band. There's
hundreds
of others.
Wait, hang on.
You got to try different burgers from different restaurants.
If you got a hair in your food,
you didn't get a hair on your food. No, you didn't get a hair on your food. What did
I rate it?
Nah.
What did I rate
I don't even know. Like probably a 1 or 2 or something.
That's a hair in my food.
Then go to another restaurant and try their burger.
That's fine. I can.
Then
go
you will go and do that. I don't know why I said that like I didn't understand English.
It's a That's why I do this channel.
Yes. So more symphonic metal will be brought into the channel.
That's perfectly
and
fine.
You will take a bite of it.
I just said that the restaurant Epica.
Yes.
Got hair on my food, and
but you had one item off the menu.
That's fine. So do I have to go back to that restaurant and say,
yes?
Okay,
because this is music and not a restaurant.
You remember that next time you find a Band-Aid in your burger.
Okay.
Where did screaming originate though?
You look that up.
Why?
Because I enjoyed it and I would listen to it, but it's not something that I would listen to all the time. And there's other songs that I personally enjoy more from them. Like I do Arms of Sorrow or Arms of Sorrow a little more. And My Curse, but even the same thing, I wouldn't really listen to it all the time. But I do think that within the metalcore genre, they are one of those top bands that when they release something, you're always going to get some sort of quality out of it. Mm-hmm. You're for the most part, you're probably not going to be disappointed with what you hear, depending on what you think of them.
Choirs often rely on singers who can fry the low bass notes.
Interesting.
Production of the vocal fry register may be extended up to the model register. The vocal discourage such practices as it may do damage.
Which some have done damage. I know Avenged Sevenfold's singer, he had to go through throat surgery at one point.
I can't do it.
But it's a different kind of fry.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's like, a low kind of singing. Maybe they have to fry it.
It's also known as pulse register, laryngalization, pulse phonetation, creak, croak, popcorning, glottal fry, glottal rattle.
No, those all sound like diseases. I don't want.
Strobe bass. I want beef stroganoff.
All of those sound like diseases I don't want. So, in going with that, question for you.
Okay.
When did you first hear and then enjoy harsh vocals? Same question goes to you guys as well. If you enjoy harsh vocals, because they have a place, when did your history with them start, and how did it kind of get to where you are now? If it helps, I'll go first. Obviously, I would have to say Linkin Park. Me growing up with them, right? Chester Bennington, he uses fry vocals, and he can scream, he can growl if he wants to, and it was like a gateway because it's not so harsh that it's like ugh, right? Yeah. It's still melodic enough that it gets your attention, it makes you feel something, and then from there you have bands like Slipknot. I started getting a little more into progressive metal, so you had bands like Opeth, and the first time I heard that, a true death growl, I was like, no, you know, and I'm sure that's most people's reactions. Yeah. But the music behind it was so good, I was like, okay, there's something here to that's worth it. I'm not going to discount a whole technique and genre just because I didn't like this thing. So let me keep trying.
Right.
So that's how I kind of got into Opeth and eventually metalcore and deathcore and stuff like that. Even though I don't really listen to that anymore, it's a little too much for. It's a little too much for me now. I've gotten old, but that's kind of my journey.
I think the first time I ever listened to anything like that was Hybrid Theory CD in my dad's Toyota Celica, and then Crawling came on.
Okay. Crawling.
Yeah, I think that was my first introduction to all of it. Yeah. And I think from there it kind of went into the emo punk phase, 30 Seconds to Mars, then I got into Sum 41, then there was Queens of the Stone Age, and then I got into, even though that's not really screaming, but even with 30 Seconds to Mars, I heard The Kill, and I'm oh my goodness, it's so crazy.
But it was melodically done.
Yeah,
it was harsh. It was very harsh, but it was melodically done.
But that's the thing, it has to be done well in order for it to resonate with me personally.
Correct. And then I know you got into Mice and Men.
Mice and Men was and that was a different type as well because there was almost no melody in those beginnings as far as the way he screamed. And the way when I really started enjoying his screams, I mean, I've always enjoyed The Flood and all that whole album and their first one. But then Restoring Forest, that's where he was screaming. Austin Carlisle was screaming a little bit more with a little bit more melody behind his
voice and everything.
Yeah.
And then Dance Gavin Dance.
Dance Gavin Dance, and then...
When we got into post-hardcore a little bit, that's because it's something that's used.
I wasn't into post-hardcore before you was.
You very much were.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Just like I was into medium-sized shirts.
I'm just curious about what your journey is in harsh vocals, and where did you first hear them, and where did you where you ended up now?
Oh,
because I kind of mellowed out a little bit. Yeah. I understand them and I enjoy certain ones.
Oh, I didn't rate it. I didn't rate it.
What'd you rate the song?
I give it 3 because it's good, but it's one of those genres. It's okay, well, right now I'm not into it lately. I've been listening to a lot of like older. What are they called? The classics? No,
Standards.
The standards. Listening to a lot of that.
We're gonna do a little bit of that later too.
Yeah. Well, oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
What did you eat last night?
Last night I made breakfast. Also, side note, brunch is the most romantic thing you can do for me. Anyone that makes me brunch or anything breakfast related,
Natasha
got me.
Natasha took you to brunch?
I did it. I made it.
Oh, okay.
I made a chorizo potato hash. Not too heavy because I didn't want to have like a heavy meal. But I wanted to try something kind of nice and like a little different with an arepa and white cheese.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was really good.
So I didn't eat the whole day yesterday, and then me and Ashley got pizza. So she got she can't have dairy because of the breastfeeding. So she got like a vegan pizza.
Okay.
And then I got Papa John's. I know, so bad. And then I got...
Sometimes you need it, though.
And then it had jalapenos and anchovies. So good.
Ooh, that's a...
I'm
feeling that one.
Then I was dipping it into the garlic butter.
Oh!
And then after I took a bite of that, I would take a bite of the pepperoni.
Oh!
And then I had someone made me some homemade... I'm salivating right now. Some homemade like hot sauce. I'm going to pour that on top of that.
How's your heart feel?
Dude,
do you get heartburn?
How's my butt feel?
Okay.
Comment below your favorite meal. For me, man, I don't know what it is. It's a toss up between chicken wings and pizza. Like,
what kind of meal? Are you thinking like comfort meal or like going out to eat meal?
Comfort food. Give me comfort food. For me, comfort food is like just like a pizza. Just like a good. Right now it's pizza. It changes, but pizza.
Honestly, breakfast. Because I can eat breakfast every time, all the time. Like literally, I can always eat it. And yeah, pretty much any breakfast item, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Except grits. Never got into that.
Never got into grits. Grits with butter and bacon. Oh.
Anyways, let us know what you guys thought of the song. Let us know what you had for dinner last night. Let us know if you enjoy brunch as much as I do, because love it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Join us on the comments down below. Join us on Twitter, and we'll see you later.